only one perfect solution. There are clues that will try to trick our team.
Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're going to be taking a look at another KTANE modded module tutorial. And today we're going to be taking a look at Encrypted Maze. This is the way the module looks, and we currently have a sort of a dark blue / greenish background, and two symbols that are present on the module. One is spinning clockwise, and the other is spinning counterclockwise. So what exactly do we have to do? So first things first is that we actually need to figure out what our current position and what our goal is based off of these symbols present on the module, based off of their shape and the way that their outline is, as well if they have a dot in the middle or if it's crossed out. So let's take a look at what exactly we need to do here. So for decrypting the positions, because we actually don't know exactly where we are on the module, and these positions on the maze don't actually mean like the starting position would be at delta 4 and the ending position would be at alpha 4. That is not true. These positions are completely encrypted based off of these symbols, and it is our job to do so. So as it says here, your current position is encrypted by the marker spinning clockwise in this case. So it'll be this square at delta 4, and the goal is spinning counterclockwise in this case alpha 4. So in this case, each marker denotes a shape feature and a numerical value. And a marker's numerical value is equal to its vertical coordinate, 1 to 6 counting from top to bottom, added to its shape's value. Now, what exactly does this mean? So first things first, let's actually take a look at our symbol spinning clockwise. So a marker's numerical value is equal to its vertical coordinate. In this case, what that means is starting from the top, we need to count however many times it is to get us down to that symbol, from top to bottom. So in this case, we need to get down to delta 4 in this case, which in this case takes 1, 2, 3, 4. So its vertical coordinate in this case is 4, because that's how many times it takes from the top to count down to the bottom, in this case being 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in this case, it's going to be 4, and it's going to be added to its shape value. So in this case, what exactly are the shape values? So here we have the different shapes that can be present, as well as their values below, based off of an edge recognition present. So in this case, we're looking at a square, and the shape value for that is the number of unlit indicators. So in this case, we have actually no unlit indicators. So in this case, 4 plus 0, in this case, will give us 4 in this case. And if it's greater than 6, subtract 6 until you get between 1 and 6. And then what we're going to do is, this corresponds to our current position on the top here. Now, how exactly do we find the, so we found the column that we're in, we need to find the row that we're in. How exactly do we do that? This is entirely based off of the feature of the shape in this case. In this case, the shape features can be either thin line, thick line, filled, thin dot, thick dot, and crossed out. And so the way that this looks in this case is it is a thin line in this case, but it also has a dot inside of it. In this case, this will correspond to thin dot, and that will be our row. So in this case, our starting position is delta 4 actually, ironically enough. So next up for our goal, we're simply going to do the same thing, except this corresponds for our goal to the row, and the display on the module corresponds to the column in this case, so it's just the vice versa. It's also important to note that the rows in this correspond to actual different numbers, and it's not numerical order. Don't worry about that. As long as you highlight the correct row, for example, if you get a result of 5, you're not counting down to 2, you're counting up to 5 in this case, and that will be your row. So the first thing we can figure out is actually the symbol in this case corresponds to also a thin dot in this case. This corresponds to column 5 in this case. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before. So what we're going to do is a marker's numerical value is equal to its vertical coordinate. In this case, its vertical coordinate is the exact same as our current position, which in this case it counts down to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in this case, it's going to be 4. And now we're going to take a look at the shape value. We're going to add that. In this case, it's also a square. We had no unlit indicators present, so in this case, that's just going to be 4 plus 0 equaling 4. So now we're going to highlight this on the actual display, on the actual grid here. And in this case, we're going from delta 4 to echo 1. And this is how the module is going to look. So now what we're going to do is we actually need to decrypt the maze itself. And so now we're going to take the two values of the horizontal coordinates. So in this case, from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get a new coordinate out of these values to find this maze here in the 3x3 grid we have here. And for each value, we're going to see if it's greater than 3, we're going to modulo 3 until it's between 1 and 3 inclusively. And so we're going to form a new coordinate out of these values. So we're going to take a look at the clockwise spinning marker first. So in this case, the clockwise spinning marker's horizontal axis is out, or coordinate in this case, is out 1, 2, 3, and 4 spaces. So 4, and it is greater than 3, so we're going to subtract 3, giving us 1. And that will be part of our first coordinate. Now for the counterclockwise, it's going to be spinning counterclockwise. It is 1 out in this case. It's the first coordinate going from left to right. So it is going to be 1, 1. And for a new coordinate out of these values, the clockwise one that we did first is spinning, it denotes the horizontal axis, and the counterclockwise spinning marks the vertical axis. Now what exactly does this mean? So this coordinate points to the maze and the 3x3 grid below. And what it does is, for the horizontal axis, we would simply count out 1, 2, and 3. And for the vertical axis, we would simply count out 1, 2, and 3. So in this case, our top left corresponds to 1, 1, which also happens to be the same coordinate that we have. So in this case, we're looking at top left here, and this is the maze that we're looking at. So just to remind ourselves, we're going from delta 4 to echo 1. And it looks like a pretty simple maze, so let's do that. So we're starting here, and we're going to go up, right, right, up, left, left, up, right. And watch what happens when we go through this maze. And you'll see what I mean by these points do not exactly represent where we are in the maze. So let's go up, right, right, up, left, left, up, right. And just like that is a solved module. Let's take a look at another example, because this module is pretty simple, but the way that it words it can be a bit confusing and a bit irritating too. So here's the big difference that I was going to make. This is a thick line right here, and this is a thin line. They're very distinct from one another, and just to make sure that we don't get those mixed up, that's what they look like. So we're going to start off with the clockwise coordinate to get our current position. So in this case, that square is our current position. It is the thick line, so we're going to mark that there. And what we're going to do is, let's figure out what we need to do. So its vertical coordinate from top to bottom, in this case, corresponds to 1, 2. So we have 2 for our vertical coordinate, and for our shape value, it's a square. So we're going to add the number of unlit indicators, in this case being 1, so 2 plus 1 equals 3. And so with that being said, the current position is going to be in column 3 in this case. So we're going to start at Charlie 5 in this case. So now what we're going to be going to is the one spinning counterclockwise. This one is a thin line, as we discussed before, and its vertical coordinate is also 2 in this case, going down from the top to bottom, 1, 2. And the shape value for a pentagon in this case is the number of AA batteries. Let's see how many we have on this bottom. We have 2 right here, because this other one is a D battery. So we have 2 AA batteries, so 2 plus 2 in this case equals 4. So now we're going to go back up, we're going to highlight the column 4, and this gives us a goal of delta 1. So in this case, it will be from Charlie 5 to delta 1. So now let's take a look at what our mazes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the value of the starting and ending positions, the clockwise one being first, and we're going to do the horizontal coordinates. So the clockwise one is currently at 1 on the left, so it's going to be just 1 in this case. And then for our pentagon, spinning counterclockwise, that will be out 1, 2, 3. So in this case, our new coordinate will be 1, 3. So now let's take a look and remember what we had to do. So the clockwise spinning marker denotes the horizontal axis, so the 1, 2, and 3 in this case. and then the counterclockwise denotes the vertical axis, so the 1, 2, the 1, the 2, and the 3. So in this case, our coordinate is 1, 3. So in this case, we're going to go out 1, and then we're going to go down to the third. So in this case, going down 1, 2, and 3. And this is the maze that we're going to end up on right here. So let's take a look. So we're going to go from Charlie 5 to Delta 1. Okay, so let's follow the path. So let's go up, right, right, up, right, up, up, left, down, left. And let's say we happen to get a strike on this.
And why would that be?
Note that the module does not reset from that curved position, so it is very careful. So you have to be very careful, and you have to know exactly where you are. So in this case, if we go up, it still solves the module. Let's take a look at one final example, as this module can be a bit tricky, like I said before, and it can be very error-prone, and, well, you're dead at that point. Let's take a look at our last example here. The one spinning clockwise in this case is going to be that pentagon. So the pentagon in this case is a thick line, and it is currently from the top, it is going to be 2. So 1, 2. So now the pentagon is also valued as a value of the number of AA batteries, which in this case is 2. So 2 plus the 2 in this case gives us 4. So in this case we're starting at delta 5, and we're going to be going to, let's find out. So our shape feature in this case is a thin dot with a thin dot in this case rather. Thin dot. And let's find out what we're looking at here. So from the top down, the square spinning counterclockwise is 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top. So that'll be 4. And the square's value, shape's value is the number of unlit indicators. In this case, we don't have any unlit indicators. So in this case, our goal will be in the 4 row in this case. So our goal in this case will be from delta 5 to echo 1. Alright, let's take a look at this last maze. So the one spinning clockwise denotes the horizontal axis. So the one spinning clockwise from the left, the horizontal coordinate, in this case being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this case it's 5. However, it is greater than 3. We're going to subtract 3 until it's between 1 and 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2, and it's between 1 and 3 now. So now, for the counterclockwise, we're going to go out to the left to right 1, 2, and 3 times. So in this case, our new coordinate that we're going to be looking at is 2, 3 for our maze. So clockwise marks the horizontal axis, so 1, 2. And now we're going to take a look at the vertical axis, 1, 2, and 3. This will be the maze that we're currently looking at, based off of 2, 3. So from delta 5 to echo 1, sorry, the manual itself is a little bit screwy. I don't know why it does this sometimes. I'll probably post this in my mod bug reports. It's just the way that the highlighting is off a little bit. If it was full screen, it does look normal, but just if it's not full screen, it does look like that. So apologies on that. So from delta 5 to echo 1, let's go. So let's go left, up, left, up, right, 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 down, right, up, 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 and then finally left. And just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and if you have any questions, leave a note in the comments. Bye-bye!